What's up, guys? I hope you all had a good New Year and a great Christmas. Sorry that I've been away, I was on holiday, but I'm back with more Sonic Frontiers videos, discussions, news. I know I've been a bit behind on it since I've been on holiday, but I'm back, so you don't need to worry about that. You should follow me, my YouTube channel, for all the latest on Sonic Frontiers, because I'm going to be covering it like a hawk. Don't you worry, I'm going to be covering this news all the time. I'm staying on top of this game. But for this video today, since there's not been a lot of new information that's been coming out recently, there was information a couple of weeks ago that I didn't get to cover. I'm talking about like this week. There's not been much, so I'm going to cover something from a bit ago and try and provide a new perspective. And that's the fact that I think Sega's lying about Sonic Frontiers. And I know that sounds very judgmental, but hear me out, I suppose. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, then I'm right. I'm not really bothered. I hope I'm wrong, though. You know, I don't want to be right about this. Well, it has to do with the fact, with the quality control thing they've been talking about. So basically, Sega Sammy, they had this, like, press interview for what I assume investors just wanted to know about Sonic Frontiers and all that. And one of the questions was just asking about the game, like number of sales or something. And in the answer that they gave, they let us know that originally the game was planned for the 30th anniversary of Sonic, but they postponed the release of the game for a whole year in order to further brush up the quality, not only for this game, but during the development phase they've been doing quality life analysis for the title, such as game testing and such like that. So that's basically what they said. The last part I'll come to later on, but the first part is the part I want to focus on in this video because I don't believe it. I think it's a lie. I think they have made it up. Not completely, I think there's probably some truth to it, but I think they are greatly over-exaggerating it for good press. So what they're telling us right now is that the game was going to be released last year, the 30th anniversary, but they delayed it to further brush up the quality. And what does this imply? It implies that the game was almost ready, but they wanted to further enhance the quality. I don't believe that. I think that's got to be a lie, and here is why. When we got the trailer for the game, it was barely running. Like, it was chugging, it had the Sonic Forces model for Sonic, no gameplay, it just wasn't being shown. It's like we're trying to hide it. To me, it seems very obvious that the game is not optimized almost whatsoever. The gameplay came from the PC version of the game, which is the version of the game that should be able to run the best considering like hardware and how much more powerful hardware is for PC than it is for consoles. So that tells us that they probably haven't finished the console versions of the game yet, obviously because it comes out the holiday this year. But my point here is that they said further brush up the quality. That can't possibly be true. The game looks like it's nowhere near finished. It looks like it's got about a year left, which is convenient because that's when it releases in almost a year. So what I think they're just trying to do here is that they're really trying to garner good press again, because they've done this before. They did this with Team Sonic Racing, where they said it was coming out winter 2018, and they just stuck by that forever until last second conveniently they said we're delaying it. It was obvious that the game was going to be delayed. They had said nothing about it at all. They weren't showing any sort of trailers for the game or anything. It was obvious that from the get-go, the game was likely releasing in 2019 no matter what, and that they wanted this positive press in order to sell the game. And they've done this so many times, and it looks like they're doing it again for Sonic Frontiers. Now, the part that is definitely true, because we know from leaks, are the playtesting, which is weird to me, because that implies that they haven't always done playtesting for their games using focus groups, which is really weird, because that's quite a common form of playtesting that they should be conducting almost every time. In fact, not even almost. They should be conducting that every time for their games. But I guess they don't, and this is the first time they're doing it? Which is really weird to me. They consider the fact that they're doing focus groups a like beneficial, like a majorly beneficial factor towards the game being of a higher quality. So how much does that really say about how much they skimp out when they're developing the games normally, like Sonic Forces? Because it's the same answer that mentioned the fact that there's no compromise in terms of quality, and that has taken up many new challenges. It's hard for me to believe that because they say stuff like this all the time, and I really wish that they would finally admit that Sonic Forces is a game that compromised quality, because it so obviously did. It was a budget title. It was so scripted because they didn't want to properly program the game. Having the game scripted would make it less likely for glitches to happen, so that's why they did it. I wish they'd finally admit that Forces kind of sucked, like a lot. And that's not just me being mean because I don't like the game. In 2017, it was one of the only Sega games to get less than a 60 on Metacritic. So this isn't just me talking, this is people. This is the quality of the game, you know? This is what the most people thought, you know? Like, it wasn't considered great, especially compared to Generations, which this game said it was going to be inspired by and have the same amount of quality, and it didn't. So I worry that we're in that kind of same scenario again, where they want us to believe that this game is just full of quality, it's never been higher, and that they postponed it by an entire year, a whole year, which is a long time, a whole year to brush up the quality, even though when they revealed it, they literally showed no gameplay and the game not performing great. How does this make sense? It can't be right. All I can think of what happened was they were told it was being delayed by a year, and development just slowed down really hard to give the developers a chance to like have time for themselves, which would be the best scenario, but it's Sonic, it's Sega, I don't believe that would happen. What I truly believe has happened here is it was always planned for 2022, because there's no chance in hell they postponed it for brushing up the quality. The finishing touches is what it makes it sound like, which is just, it's not true. Because if the game is seriously actually using the Forces model, I think that's an awful sign. I think that's a really, really bad sign. And I've got a video planned for this later, but to me that kind of makes me worried that they've designed the world over Sonic. And I know a lot of art and animation is done after the fact, but having Sonic, it's literally Sonic, the main character, like it's the playable character. That would have been done much sooner in development than at the very end. You wouldn't leave the character to be done at the very end of development. To me, that doesn't really make sense. And I've not seen it done for any other Sonic games, so I don't know. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Am I being presumptuous? Am I just looking to be negative? Because I don't want to be. You know, I want to start off the new year strong. I want the game to be good. I want to be wrong. But it just seems like they're trying to stroke their own ego, and they're trying to get some good press already by saying the game was delayed to brush up the quality, despite the fact that when they showed it, it looked nowhere near finished whatsoever. So I suppose let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, shit, I don't want to be right. But with all that said, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to stick around on YouTube, because I'm going to be covering Sonic Frontiers all the time. Don't you worry, I'm going to be keeping up with everything that they reveal. And hopefully we get a trailer soon, or some sort of new, proper, concrete information that is exciting to talk about. But yeah, with all that said, thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out, my dudes.